We are live, gentlemen.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Big Bill coming to you live from YouTube Model Builders live show. Today is May 20th, 2017, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:03 actually in New York, 9 p.m., 9:03 Eastern Time, Central Time. But welcome to the YouTube Model Builders live show. We have a special show for you tonight. I think you guys are all going to enjoy it. I really do. We have Steve Montgomery on, who was on, you were on last year, weren't you, Steve?
Yes.
Yes, Steve Montgomery and his Carroll Valley Railroad. His model railroad is HO scale, and it was featured in Model Railroad magazine. What issue was that? What month?
That was June, I believe it was, of 2015.
2015. So he's been highlighted in that. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight with Steve. But before we do that, I just want to give you the standard introduction to YouTube Model Builders. We have the live show, like you said, like I said earlier, on the third Saturday of every month. We also have the Tuesday night hangout in regards to the fine scale build, and also on Tuesday night, Barry, our esteemed director tonight, does the Model Tech Railroad with Mike Dettinger and himself. And then on Thursday we have the general hangout with John and his motley crew of men who have a general discussion on model railroading, along with Andy Crawford. And today the release of the EMAG was out. If you haven't had a chance, go to YouTubeModelBuilders.com, sign up, and get a free EMAG. The May-June issue came out, and the theme for this month, and it's and I have to say, two thumbs up to JD and his crew, Blaine Mansfield and Harry and Jack and Jen, their new contributing editor. You guys did a bang-up job. This issue is about families involved in model railroading and what they've done and how it intersperses with family. And on the cover of the magazine is our own Josh Cohen with his grandmother. It's a it's a good magazine. I'm not just saying it because I'm part of this crew. I'm just letting you guys know it is a well-written magazine, and I think this issue is going to be. I think you guys are going to like it. So sign up if you haven't signed up. Just put your email at the YouTubeModelBuilders.com, and you get the free magazine, and that's a good thing. And what else? Oh, and Wednesday nights with Chris, we have the Adreno show, and that's been going pretty well. Barry, you've had some involvement in that. How's that been?
I haven't really done too much with it, Bill, but it's been really taking off. They've got a wealth of topics they're going through, so I'm very glad Chris took that on and decided to present that. We've been working more on the tech show side with doing things with the pickaxe. We're probably going to touch on the Arduino a little bit, but that we're letting Chris take that bull by the horns because he's doing a wonderful job with it. So,
right. So we've been doing some really good things here on YouTube Model Builders. With that said, we've been having a lot of fun, but at this time, I'd like to take a moment to pay our condolences and remembrance to Jim Ross. Many of you know that Jim Ross was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he was given a few months to live. And this past week, Jim was called back home. Jim passed away, and as much as we know that this is going to happen, we all know there's an eventuality we're all going to pass away. We know that. And when someone's given a diagnosis like that and told to get your affairs in order, and in turn you go ahead and do that, it still comes as a shock. When I received the text that Jim had passed away, as much as we were expecting it, it still hurts. It's still kind of like a short rabbit punch to the nose. You expect it, but then you don't expect it. You hope for the best. You hope that there's a cure, that something will come around the corner. Unfortunately for Jim, it did not. And like I said, he was called back home to the glory. And he's left his wife and his children and grandchildren behind. And we at YouTube Model Builders and the community want to send our sincere condolences to Mrs. Ross and to her family, and to let you know that we won't forget Jim. Jim was an integral part of this community, and he was larger than life. Larger than life. And I'd like to think that Jim's on his Harley riding free. No helmet. No helmet,
Yeah.
boys. No. And plane trains, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm just showing up a couple shots from his big build contest entry of Tucson, Arizona building there, and he did a fantastic job. I remember judging that building in the contest, and he did all right. So he was a fantastic model. I remember doing hangouts with him early on, and just trying to help him out with things to get him started in the beginning when we were first doing this when it was just the live show. And it was great fun talking with him, and every now and then he would help us out doing hangouts for us and everything. So
actually, he kind of saved our butter once in a while. He jumped in when we had problems with getting on air. And, you know, when you first met him, he was he's a very imposing man. He's a man that you take very, very seriously, and he should be taken seriously. But the fact of the matter is, once you saw that gruff exterior, you also saw the kindness, and you also saw the sweetness of the man. So
absolutely,
we here at YouTube Model Builders want to send our condolences to Mrs. Ross and to his family, his grandchildren. He will be missed, but as he will live forever in our hearts. And people who have recently purchased anything from Jim, you know, will have that remembrance. I myself was one of the fortunate ones to have a boxcar that was given to me along with some others that he signed, and it was decaled by Phil Weinman. And I'd like to thank Phil Weinman for putting that work into it and getting them painted up, and it will live for my layout whenever it runs around. Phil texted me and said, because on my layout I have the Brooklyn Lollipop Factory, and Phil said to me that he says, well, it will haul lollipops. And I wrote back, I said, nah, more like old granddad from out of Kentucky. You know, it would only be fitting. So again, our condolences to the Ross family, and you will be missed, Jim, but you will never, ever, ever be forgotten, my friend.
No way.
You were an impact on the community and an impact on each and everyone's life that you came in touch with. So thank you and God bless. And so tonight let us move on to business at hand here. If we could we do the splash pages, because everybody's eager to see what's out there, and I see on the comment pages that they want to know if the contest is in effect yet. It's not. You guys gotta wait.
Here we go.
Here we go. What do we got going on?
We got giveaway number 1.
Let's get on the page here. Do I look like I'm going bald? Oh,
not serious. As bad as me, Bill.
Well, you've been parting your hair differently lately. I noticed that. So the first one up is the punch plate bridge kit from Central Valley Model Works. It's a 150-foot HO punch plate bridge kit from good friends at centralvalleymodelworks.com. Go check them out. They have other stuff out there. So
I remember when Jimmy won that bridge. He was very happy, man.
I think he won like this 3 times. He's a very lucky guy on these drawings.
I know. So the next one's up, Bill.
It's a 7-second delay on my end here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Technology's great when it works, huh? Here we go. Got the road striping kit from Highways and Byways Arts and Crafts Store. This is a road striping kit. It's a package of vinyl strips for your model railroad. You can check out other by John Howard here by highwaysandbyways.com. This stuff is actually really, really good. I know I say this. If you guys go back to the archives of these videos, Gino Sharp gets the biggest plug out of this because he used this on his railroad. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic stuff. It takes weathering really well, and it goes down nice and stays down. Yep. So highways and byways. Whoever gets picked for this, it's a road striping kit. You can use it in any scale.
All right, next one's up, Bill.
Well, let's see. Thank you, Bob. Yes, I know I'm going bald. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. I didn't know that. If it wasn't for you, Bob, I'd be in the dark. Dave's Decals. Anybody who wins this gets 2 choices, 2 sheets of Dave's Decals. You can pick them. Go to daveart.net and look through his wide collection of decals. He also does custom work as well. So if anybody wins this, you'll get your choice of 2 sheets.
Just remember, Bill, he has, remember what the P word is for Dave's Decals?
What's that?
The P word for Dave's Decals? Plethora?
A plethora.
Yes.
Plethora.
A plethora, yes.
Hold on. Let me check with the teacher. Plethora. It's plethora. Plethora of decals. He has a plethora of decals.
Absolutely.
That's a big word. The biggest word I know is pharmacy.
Wait a minute, I thought it was delicatessen.
Yeah.
Delicatessen. There you go. You're smarter than the average bear, brother. Oh, this is going to be a good show tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
So, what's our next giveaway here?
It should be coming right up.
Mark Donovan informs me that Dave Decals is doing a 10% discount. It's going on right now.
Beautiful.
So if you guys want to go, check them out. Here's another good decal guide. Weathering decals from Weathering Solutions. Now, if you guys want to, I know Mr. Renzetti's out there somewhere listening. He does his own weathering on his own stuff. But if you guys are in a hurry and you don't want to do your own weathering, check out Weathering Solutions. They got some really, really nice rust kind of decals. You can get away from you can get away, and it, from a distance you can get away with it. But they really do. I recently used the decals of the graffiti on it. Oh, Mr. Renzetti is here. Hello, Ralph. I used the graffiti on the build of the cement factory, and they came out really well, really well. So anybody who wins this will get a sheet or 2 sheets, I believe, from Weathering Solutions. Very good product. So check them out at weatheringsolutions.com.
All right, and let me get my mouse in the right spot so I can click the right button. And our last one's coming up, Bill.
Okay. The last one should be from Strikeforce Hobbies.
Yep.
Good friends at Strikeforce Hobbies. The winner tonight will receive a Walter's Yard Office and Guard Shack kit in an HO scale. This is from Strikeforce Hobbies, our good friends up north in Canada. If you win this tonight, if you're picked, it's an HO scale, Walter's Yard and Office and Guard Shack kit in HO scale. So that's the Strikeforce. That's all the giveaways for tonight. And let us go back to.
Yeah, you'll be coming right back up in any second.
Any second.
There you go.
Dane S says, my dad said this was a good show, so I can't wait to see what is on tonight. Well, Dane, I'm glad you asked that, because our special guest tonight is Steve Montgomery, and his layout, the Carroll Valley Railroad, has been featured in the June issue of 2015 of Model Railroad magazine. And on top of him being a very prolific modeler, and he's also helping Troy on his by building some scratch-built buildings for him. He's also joining us tonight, and we're going to do a special presentation, or he's going to do a special presentation on a Timesaver. So, Steve, tell me a little bit about how did you get into doing this Timesaver, and explain what a Timesaver is to those of us out here who don't know what it is. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, your microphone must have went off, Steve, because he's not muted.
Once again, technology.
Technology at its finest, Bill.
When it works, it's great.
All right.
So, Steve's Steve is gonna, as soon as he gets back, Steve's gonna talk to us. Hello?
No, no sound yet, Steve. This was working 5 minutes ago.
Can't hear you, Steve.
Can't hear you. Yep, we'll wait. We'll wait. We'll kibitz for a little bit. I noticed we got a few of our good friends in here tonight. Got Ron Brights all the way from Australia, and saw Ralph Renzetti in here. I saw good friends AJ Climb Pass. We got Ron Perez in. Dude Lidler's in tonight too.
Dude, yes.
Yes, so I gave a few people some shout outs. And 0-30 Dave, I've been following him for a while because I'm interested in doing some 0-30 stuff. So we got a good, nice crew of people in here tonight.
Let's see if John's back in action. John? No, still can't hear you. Steve, I'm sorry. John,
You know what, Steve? Go into your settings and switch to your webcam microphone instead of your headset. Yeah, if that doesn't work, do a Control R to refresh your Hangout session.
Yeah, Steve, go to, on the keyboard, go to Control
R.
and the letter R and press them simultaneously. There you go.
Yeah, and that'll bring them back in.
Okay, now.
I do anything?
There we go. Now we can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
I'm still hearing. Am I on there now?
Yep.
Now you're
okay.
on.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
well, that happens from time to time.
So let's start all over again. Let's go all the way back to the. No, I'm only kidding. Steve Montgomery's with us from Carroll Valley Railroad, and tonight he's going to do the Timesaver. Now that's a little switching game. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah. Well, it's a John Allen. For any of you who remember John Allen, the Wizard of Monterey, out in California. Back in the 60s, 70s, he was in model railroader all the time. He's like the father of model railroading. And out in his basement. And then he also built what he called the Timesaver. And it was a switching problem that was timed. So you could either operate this according to the clock. You could do it by how many times you change directions, try to do it in the quickest time possible. His crews, after a night of running on his layout, they would come upstairs and then they would kind of take turns with the Timesaver. And it's not something that they recommend you incorporate into your railroad because it's kind of ridiculous. But for learning how to switch cars, it's really good. It does make you think. It's like a chess game. The original Timesaver was set up with an engine that is set at a certain speed. You can't go any faster. So nobody has a speed gauge. You can only go so fast, and then it runs with 5 cars. And the idea is to switch the cars from one location to another amount of time or moves. That's basically what it was. Since my layout is finished, I guess, and I wanted something that I could play with, that I could take to the shows and operate and demonstrate for people, I built the Timesaver based on John's plans. He used hand-laid track with Y turnouts. I didn't have Ys available at the time, so I used Flex Track. I have Payco turnouts because they're self-locking. His had, you can put uncoupling magnets on this. I tried it. I didn't really like it. And the reason being is because of the size of it. So I took them back off. So basically, it's just all hand operated at this point. So, but that's basically what a time saver is.
I'm going to throw up the track plan of the Timesaver. Just let me know if this is the right. I think this is the right one, right? So.
Well, I don't know if I can't see it.
Oh, right. You know what? I want to transition back to the feed. I'll bring it up on my screen and share it then.
Okay.
So I can find my dumb mouse. It gets away from me with these two monitors.
There, it's up on the screen now. I can see it.
Yeah, I put it. Yeah, he can't though.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah,
Basically,
I'll go find it and get it shared then.
Okay.
So basically, Steve, it's something that John Allen did. So when the crews that were operating on his thing, when they had downtime between their operation, he devised this time saver so that they had something to do when they were in the crew room or the crew setting office. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They mostly did it from what I understand. They did it like after an operating session. They'd come upstairs, have coffee, and then they'd sit around and just try to operate this thing.
I seen a similar one a couple of years ago at a show where the guy had set up a time saver. I was explaining it to my wife what it was, and the guy, what he did, he had built this small diorama, same size as yours basically, maybe a little longer, and he put a little town in the middle of it, and he put at one end the boxcar filled with dynamite, and he said you had to get the boxcar of dynamite to the mine on the other side, and but you couldn't go through the town.
Yeah.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, the boxcar could never get through the town.
Yeah.
So you had to switch out the 8 other cars that were on the layout. And, it was an interesting thing at the train show. The place, he had more people at his tables than they did at the other tables.
Mm-hmm.
The sellers were getting annoyed because people were trying this out,
Yep. It's a lot of fun at a show. I take it and here in Cincinnati, and it's had a good response because I don't think anybody in this area that I've heard of has one. So, but it's just something different. I even tried an N-scale box layout, and that's kind of come to a stop. N-scale just a little small for me, but I'll have to show that to you one of these days.
So you have the time saver set up. Can we take a look at it?
Yeah, I have to move the camera now, so bear with me.
Everybody take your Dramamine.
Yeah, that's why I switched off his camera so we don't see too much of the seasickness going on. There we go. Perfect.
Is that?
Yeah. There we go. That's it. Good, Steve.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me swing over here.
Camera went down.
Everything went down.
Yeah, you might think you might unplug something. There we go. He's back up.
Yes. Hang on. I'll get it.
I
apologize.
No apology necessary, Steve. I want everybody to know that's watching tonight that we did a dry run of this and everything worked flawlessly.
Sure,
right.
Bill.
Everything went according to plan during rehearsal.
Right. Okay, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. Yes,
okay.
we can.
Then I'm not going to use my headphones.
Okay.
So this is the way it's set up here. You have 5 cars and an engine. This is the beginning. And then what we'll do is the stock car will end up down here. The hopper car will end up in the stock car's location. The gondola will come down here. This will end up where the engine is, and the box car will end up down here at the end of it. Okay?
Now, before we start, now this is something that you built and you travel with this. Am I correct?
Yes. I have a case to put all the stuff in. And then I also have a lid that goes over top of this to protect it. So it's like carrying a long, I don't know, a long, machine gun case or shotgun case, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's usually when I pack my 50 millimeter in.
Right, not the same size, yeah.
Not the same, yeah, when I take it. So on the MRC control box, you have a stop, right, on that, if I'm correct?
Right here. So the engine can only go so fast. That's it right there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then basically all you need is a direction switch, and that's it. Of course, you got to remember to throw your turnouts. Otherwise, if you derail, that takes extra time. And I think I've got this down under 4 minutes. I think that's my fastest time.
Okay. So
but I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm just going to go nice and slow and show it to you. Okay.
Well, hey, I'm up for a challenge. 4 minutes. If you can do it under. No, I'm only. Let's try to beat it. Try to do it under 2. And
under 2. Thank you.
And don't use your hands.
Huh?
And don't use your hands.
Don't use my hands.
Yeah, don't pick up the cars and move them.
Oh no, I don't do that.
Yeah, to get it under 2 minutes.
Okay, well let's go ahead and this is what we do. So we bring the engine forward. Now hopefully the cars will couple and uncouple as they should. And we'll bring 2 of them out. And I have markers here that tell you what cars go where. Now this is set up that each leg or area of the track here can only hold so many cars. Now we'll take these 2 and we're going to push them all the way down at the end. Hope nobody's timing me out there.
I gotta get one of them uncouplers, man. They're nice.
Steve, you're like a boss, man, with that controller.
No kidding. He just powering through it, man. This is great.
Okay, we have the hopper is now in its proper location, as the tag says here. Okay, we'll drop the stock car. It's fun at the show watching people try to do this after you show them how to do it. My operating crew has done it after a session. I've had it set up before and let them do it. Okay, the stock car is now in position. Okay, we'll pick up the gondola. We grab the reefer.
This is utterly mesmerizing.
I know.
It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's easy to build. And instead of trying to operate a full layout, you can just set this up in no time at all, and I can spend the whole evening playing with this. Okay, the gondola is where it's supposed to be. Now we'll hook onto the box car. We're going to come down and get the reefer. We'll delay coupling. Well, I was going to. It didn't. So. Okay, the box car where it's supposed to be. Reefer is where it's supposed to be. And we're done.
Wow.
That's how it's done.
Nice
Bada
job.
bing, bada boom, baby. I love
So
that.
this is the interchange track. Now, remember I said that every track can only hold so many cars?
Right.
Okay, this can hold up to 3 cars, and which comes in handy with the other way that I do this. This over here could be like the tail track from the interchange. This can hold 3 cars. This holds 2 cars. From this turnout to the end is 2 cars. Up here is 2 cars. You can get 2 cars here in the center, 2 here. Between this turnout and this, to go to the top track, you can only get 1. And then down here is 2. Okay?
Northern Star Railroad lines. You know, where did you get that uncoupling tool?
The what now?
The uncoupling tool.
Oh, that's, what is it? That is a Rick's product. Got the magnets on the side.
Yeah, isn't that like a Rick's rack or something like that?
Yeah, something. It's Rick's products. They're pretty handy. I have them on my layout. I also use the skewer sticks, you know, like the little pointed sticks you can get. I used several different ones, but in here I try to just use this, especially at the shows, because I really don't want people really handling the cars too much. These are not my best cars, but you know, they do work. So,
Steve, on that Rick's tool,
yeah.
the other end of it, I know it's a handle, but you said it was delayed coupling. What
Yeah.
do
You just use this, and you would push over the coupler. You know, when you're bringing 2 cars together,
right.
and how you want to delay it, you just push the coupler over so that it does not lock.
Right.
But that's it. I mean, these are really handy.
Very good
So-
tool.
I'll have to get me one of them puppies.
Yeah, Rick's. They're pretty good. So here is, let's see if I can show this to you. This is the start. Okay, that's kind of a basic diagram of how the cars are when you first start.
Okay.
You can
And
pull that
then-
back a little bit. See. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Let's see.
That's
Hey,
better.
tell me when
Yeah, that's good right there.
All righty. And then that would be how you set it up to start. That is how it's going to be finished.
Oh, okay.
Now that is the Timesaver, the way John Allen had it set up. But now, you know, once you learn how to do it, it can get kind of mundane. So I have figured out how to use 8 cars on this.
8.
8.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a puzzle and a half.
I use a deck of cards. I put the cards up here, and what I'll do is I'll start bringing them in. And, if you think about it, you've only got a short runaround track here. You showed them the picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a short runaround. Well, you get 2 cars here, 2 here, you've lost your runaround track. Now, you've got to move something in order to get around. Say you're going to take the hopper and you got to put it down here, then you're going to have to do a lot of switching. And this is where it becomes pretty mind-boggling.
So the car count includes a locomotive then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Are there many variations of a track plan to a Timesaver, or is that the one that's standard?
This is the standard one. Yeah. Now, some of the guys, they'll build them a little bit wider, whatever. They'll put buildings and all, and, kind of dress it up and all. The only building I have is this one. It hides my terminal block, and that's just a little Timesaver training facility, and I scratch built that one just to put on here. That's the only building I use on here. So, and I did put, I painted it and I put the grass down to give it some ground cover. But other than that, I wanted to keep it pretty simple. Because you put anything else on here, you're just going to knock them off,
I mean, you could build that real easy if you just had like a foam board inside of a wood frame and glued down a Woodland Scenics vinyl grass mat, and then laid your track right on top of it.
Exactly, you could do that. Yeah.
Be nice.
But I put bumpers down here. Of course, I've reinforced them with wire and drilled down through because they kept getting knocked off. People just run into them, so they're not going to get knocked off now. They're pretty solid.
Right.
What would make that really interesting switching is if you had like a DCC system with it and you put a switcher with lots of momentum.
Oh, yes.
It would slow it down, but it would also, you'd have to really think when you want to start and stop, because like my Broadway Limited NW2, it's got some major momentum. It can take a while for it to stop, so that would be an interesting twist on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my engines on my layout all have momentum, and it drives my crews crazy.
I bet.
Yeah, they're all different. I aggravate my crew. Of course, you guys know that. You've heard the stories.
How is what engine are you using then?
That's an Atlas S2. It's DC.
Yeah, well, I can see with the MRC power pack.
Yeah. I mean, depending on, okay, all my cars are 40 foot. The engine is just a small switcher. Now, if you wanted to go, say, 50-foot cars, you got to adjust the length of your tracks, but you still don't want to be able to fit more than two cars or an engine in a car between the turnout and the end. You can go 2.5, 2 3/4. It doesn't matter, but you don't want to have more than 2 cars at a time that you could sit in there. Okay, and that's what's important. You got to remember 2, 2, 2 here, and then this has to be tight enough that between this turnout that comes up here and the one back here to come this way, you can only get 1 car that can sit here so the engine can clear, okay?
Right.
You can get 2 cars in here, but you cannot use this turnout to come up here. Now, if you notice on here too, gentlemen, that, okay, right here, I have a track going nowhere. And people ask about that.
Right.
The reason being is for future expansion. I may someday build another one of these, put it over here, and have 2 guys operating against each other to see who can get theirs done first. You'd have to transfer a car back and forth. So this guy would send a car to him. He's got to send one here. So whoever gets that car gets their car first, has got a little bit of an advantage. But then you still got to get a car to him. It's a dead track. The engines cannot cross it, okay?
Interesting.
But you would have 2 of these and 2 guys operating them.
Well, there's an
Yeah.
interesting comment here from Dane. It says, now I understand why my dad wants us to build one for a scout trip. We could have a whole meeting with this. The other thing, too, Dane, just remember, you guys could use this for your model railroading merit badge as well. So that's definitely just the construction of one of these. You know, you could use that towards doing your merit badge. So that would definitely be something good for you guys to do.
Actually, at our church, we have the Royal Rangers. I took this there last fall for 4 straight weeks to their group meeting, and they did get their railroad badge.
Nice.
Whole thing. I take cars, all this kind of stuff about railroading, and every week at their meeting, I would go through and explain cars, the track, everything, and I took this and let them operate it.
That's a good idea. I remember when I got mine, I was part of a Boy Scout Explorer post that focused on model railroading, and we were sponsored by a local club, so that's how I got involved in the beginning with model railroading through a friend of mine in high school.
Great.
Steve, from the I see that all the switches are in the middle of these Timesaver build. From where the bumping blocks are to the first switch, how long is that track, or how long should that track be?
Okay, are you talking like on this right here?
Right.
Okay. I have mine from the bumper to the turnout is about 16 inches.
And the one with the gondola?
The gondola is longer because it'll hold, it'll actually hold 4 cars. It's built for 3, supposed to be 3. But let's see, to the clear point, I can go about 28 inches.
28.
Yeah. Now, this is, I mean, this does not have to be this long because this is just the interchange track up here. You're looking at the top of it here.
Right.
But
Right.
I put these cars on here, and that's when I start really having fun, is I use my playing cards, and I have a system that I came up with that I will load this track up, and I will take them one at a time, and I draw for position, and I have to put them on here. I'll load it up until I have 8 cars on here. Then I have to start taking them off.
Could you give us a brief demonstration of how that would work?
Oh boy. Okay. I'll go through it for you. Let me show you what I do.
You can keep it brief and brilliant.
Okay. I have a deck of cards, and I took the 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So what I do is I'd kind of like shuffle those, and you draw a card. Well, that's a 4, 5, and let's see. Here's a 6. Okay, we're going to have 6 cars on the layout. Yeah.
Steve, this remind me never to involve you in a poker game after seeing you do that.
Yeah. That's it, right.
That's a 5. No, I don't want that card. Yeah, put it in.
Well, what I do is I draw, and it tells me how many cards I'm going to put on the layout to begin with. This group of cards, I have the ace, the ace and 2 of each suite plus a joker. The joker at this would go here. I take these off the layout because I'm not going to be using them. I set them aside. And then what I'll do, since I pulled 6, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on here. And I'm going to draw 6 cards out of here. Okay, now I have my sightings are set up that, like this one here is diamonds, this is spades, this is hearts, this is clubs. So what I've drawn, I have an ace and 2 of spades, so I got to put a car at both of those. The ace will be closest to the bumper. I hope I can explain this okay. This does get a little complicated, but it's a lot of fun. I have a 2 of hearts there, ace of diamonds here, and I need a 2 of clubs. which is, there's my club and a joker. So I'll take another car, and then with this one, I put the joker down here. Okay. Then what I do is I have these little tags I made up with the cars, and basically they're just evergreen or whatever they are, the plastic like H-beams. I painted them black and then I lettered them. So, and I put them on top of the car. So we have a 2 of clubs. And we have the, let's see, diamond. But at this point, what I do is normally just go aces anyway, because they're only, if you only have one car on here, it doesn't really matter. Ace of clubs, and I put these markers on top of the cars. The reason being, I tried it one time without this, and within the first couple moves, you forget where everything goes, and it kind of ruins it. So I made these. You can see I'll show you here. Oh, here is one of the tags. Okay, that would be the 2 of diamonds. Okay? Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, it's just a little H-beam. Now, take this car in or bring a car out and swap it. What would you like? Any requests?
Let's swap it out.
Swap it out.
Great minds think alike.
Okay, we're going to swap it out. And then what I do is, well, give me a number between, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 9. Just 1 and 9. Go ahead, Bill.
7.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I have the joker, or the jack. The jack. Okay, I got to take this car and put it here. This one's coming out. The emblem off the top of this car, and I put it on there, so I know that the car without an emblem on top is going off the layout. It's coming in. Okay. Hope I can do this for you guys. I don't want anybody get bored watching me.
This whole system will make a fascinating article for the e-magazine, Steve.
Oh, don't let JD get a hold of it. He'll be.
Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna have to come down and get this car out of here. Now, I have been known to be down here with all 8 cars on this. I've spent over an hour. But I have never run into a situation that I have not been able to do it. I guess I'm persistent.
Well, I like it. It's very interesting. Very, very. I find it very interesting.
Absolutely.
I think.
Well, instead of having, if I want to run trains, I could go in and run some trains on my layout. I'd bring them out, run them around the continuous run section of it. But really, I have a card system in there, so I can't just go and move stuff around without messing everything up for the next op session. This gives me the opportunity that I can run any car I want. As long as it's 40 foot, I can put anything on here I want. And then I can run and have a good time,
You know what I find that I think this would be something great for a new hobbyist, a new modeler, someone that wants to get an introduction to building, first of all, constructing this.
Yeah, AJ Kleinpass asked, could the Timesaver also play into the NMRA achievement program or path to MMR? I don't know how much it could, but if you can build this to a certain grade where you have ballast and hand-laid grass and some structures on here, you might be able to use pieces of it to show track work, etc. I mean, because you have to develop track work, you have to show some scenery, some structures, even the cars you build. could be used towards NMRA achievement program or MMR. So depends upon what you do with it, AJ.
Yeah, that's a good question. But I think also for anybody who is getting into the hobby, this is on the cheap, on the basic cheap side of, to see whether or not you want to do this. This is the kind of a thing where you could do like a weekend project of setting this up and test, whether or not you want to. It's a minimum investment.
Yeah.
The maximum output of it is, hey, it's gotten you into model railroading, and if you enjoy this, then you'll want to take it another step further.
Yeah, because like I said, you could start with like a 2-inch slab of foam, glue down some Woodland Scenics vinyl grass mat, which actually has ground foam grass on it. Glue your track down on top of it and your turnouts, and then you'd be pretty much ready to go pretty quickly.
Yeah, it takes no time at all to build it. I use 1x3 pine for the sides. I think I use like 1/4-inch plywood. I put a couple braces under it, then I put 1/4-inch plywood, and then of course making it for a show, I built the lid, plus I varnished up the wood, trying to make it look nice.
Yeah.
But wrong ways.
Hey, there we go. First, there. See, you got to think. See, we're talking, and that's why.
That's it. I took my eyes off the track, didn't I?
There you go. Can't take your eyes off the track.
Never talk and drive. But yeah, I mean, for what this is, if you like live in an apartment or you don't really have a lot of room, and like you said, if you just want to try it to see if this is really something, model railroading you want to get into, you can buy all the parts on this, like at a train show or flea market or something, and you're ready to, no time at all, you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Don't need a fancy transformer. You don't need, really, just 5 cars will get you going. 5 cars and an engine.
Yeah, you could pick them up with the $5 bins at any train show,
Yeah.
So, question I have is, what
there it is.
What Pico turnouts did you use on this?
Number 4s, I think.
Like the small ones, the small radius turnouts. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because again, I'm only using 40-foot cars, slow speed, and I wanted to save space. So this thing's only 66 inches from end to end outside, and it's 11.5 inches across.
Yeah.
And you do 1x3, so that's about 3/4 here on each side. So you got, about 10 inches in here. Nice. Now, if you wanted to use uncoupling magnets, you need to make the board a little bit longer so that you have room to set them here with a little bit of leeway. But again, you cannot go over the 2-car limit on each end here. Okay?
Right.
Very important.
Something I was thinking, Steve, is like the 2 sidings there on your left, where the gondola, that one and that one there. You could make the layout a little bit wider and put a building there on each of those. Take the siding that's in the foreground, maybe put a little curve to it, and have room for a building in the front, and the same with the siding on the front left, where you could curve that a little bit, then put that one and the one on the other end. Yeah, that one, and then curve it forwards and put a building there, so you actually have a miniature layout. Will make it a little bit bigger, but you wouldn't have to violate the length of the siding rules, and that would give you 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you did 5 down by the office there, you could have 5 businesses, so you could introduce car-specific spotting.
Right. You could. Yeah.
And then if you make the buildings removable, you could swap the buildings around to change how you do your spotting.
You could do that too.
It might not make much of a difference in it, but it would definitely add some interest to it.
Well, you're only limited by your imagination.
And we're talking about some guys out there that got some imagination.
And see,
exactly.
Something like this, you could actually build this into a part of your layout in a small industrial area. You put a few buildings in like that, and you have your connection from the interchange track, and it's a little yard area, whatever, that you could switch some industries, and that would make it real fun. Keep a road crew busy for a little while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, like
For
here,
anybody, for anybody.
now,
Okay.
there's 8 cars on the layout, okay? Now, if you think about this, let's say we put this one here. Come on, get on there. Okay. Say you got that one there. Say this one up here. Let's move the Joker. And let's put it. Let's run it. Okay. All right. Now, in this scenario, you got one spot open here. Okay. Coming off of your interchange track. You got room for a car or an engine. You can get a car and an engine down here on here, because between this turnout here and this end, you actually can get 4 spots. It's very tight. You're just going to clear the turnout. But I found that using his dimensions, I could get 4 here. It's kind of a sleight of hand, but it does work. And then if you had to move this car in, well, first of all, you're going to have to get rid of these cars, at least one of them anyway.
Right.
And then you come down here. If you have to do a runaround, you can't do a runaround with this car sitting here. So you're going to have to move it somewhere. So you're going to have to bring these down, bring this out, and then switch cars back. So you're going to be actually on a really difficult scenario. The only cars that don't get moved if they're not picked are these 2 here. And if this track was open, I would use it to throw cars in there. It can get very complicated.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I absolutely can see that. I can absolutely see that. Let's take a time out, Barry, and let's go with the giveaways. So, Steve,
Alrighty.
breath, get a drink of water, and we can go with the announcement.
Alrighty. So I just queued up the first one, Bill, so it'll be up in a few seconds.
Sure, not a problem.
There we go.
Yeah, we're going to give away tonight the HO scale punch plate bridge kit from Central Valley Model Works. This is a very popular giveaway, and this is from our good friends Jeff and Heather at centralvalleymodelworks.com. It's the 150-foot HO scale punch plate bridge. If you enter into the contest, Dane, I will tell you in a minute how you shall enter. We have this thing figured out, son. We ain't no pea soup operation over here, I'll tell you that right now. So hang on there, buddy, while we get through this. That's the first giveaway. What's our second giveaway?
Yeah, it's coming right up, Bill. Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go. Road striping kit from Highway and Byways Arts and Crafts Store. Road striping kit package of vinyl stripes for your model railroad. This is by highwaysandbyways.com. Our good friend John Howard. Basically, this is what you see, that photo of the railroad crossing, and the yellow solid lines are what he produces, and they're very durable and very good. Very good. Gino, if anybody has seen Gino's layout, he uses these exclusively on his city scene. They take weathering good, and they don't peel and curl. They're very durable.
Okay, next one's queued up, Bill. It'll be there in a few seconds.
Here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dave's Decals, your choice of 2 sheets from davetheart.net. Any choice, if you win, you can choose for any 2 sheets from Dave's Decals. A plethora of sheets he has, I will tell you that.
All right, and the next one coming up. Bingo, bango, boingo. All right.
This one is from our good friends Weathering Solutions. If you're interested in getting sheets of graffiti, grease, mud, rust, this is the guy to go to. Weathering Solutions. If you guys win and pick this, or pick for this prize, you will get a sheet or 2 sheets, I believe, of weathering decals from him. You can choose anything that's on his site. I'll give you his email if you're selected as a winner, and we will go through it. So it's from Weathering Solutions, our good friend Eric.
And the last one's in the queue there, boss.
Strike Force Hobbies, our good friends up north in Canada, are going to give away a Walter's Yard Office and Guard Shack kit in HO scale. Strike Force Hobbies has been around for quite a number of years, and if you guys are interested, check out their website, strikeforcehobbies.com. Our good friend Lou up there is a gentleman and a scholar. They have some pretty good stuff up there as well. So if you win tonight in a pick, you'll get this HO Guard Shack and Yard Office.
All right, so and the last thing is, here's how to win, folks. So, to enter, go to YouTubeModelBuilders.com and click on where it says YouTube Model Builders Live. And when the menu comes down, go to the bottom and fill out the entry giveaway form. And in a few seconds, we will activate that form for you and give you the password you will need. So fill in all your information. Just remember, 1 entry a person. We are watching. Big Brother is looking, and we can tell if we got more than 1 computer from the same house and more than 1 email. So we will find you. So
Troy.
Yeah, Troy's up on there.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Finish up. I'm sorry.
No, I just noticed Troy's on. He says he's going to build one in HON3. That would that would be cool to do.
Yes. Good to see you, Troy.
All right, so I'm going to go over to the site now, Bill, and activate our scheduled show for tonight. Let me edit that.
Sparky 107 asks, where is Strike Force Hobbies located? I know they're up there in the outside of Toronto area, I believe. Sparky, Dave, sorry, Sparky 107. That's his handle on his YouTube channel. But I believe they're located up on in and around Canada. Canada, of course, they're located in Canada. I think they're located in the Toronto area.
Well, Bill, we are active now, and the password is the word free, FREE, all lowercase.
You know what I say? If it's free, it's for me.
Amen, brother.
I just used that in the video.
Yep.
Just use that in the video.
So we'll give everybody a little while to go and fill out their information. Again, go to YouTubeModelBuilders.com and click on YouTube Model Builders Live. And then at the bottom, you will see live show giveaway entry form. Just click on there and enter your information and the password free, FREE, all lowercase.
Yes. And Steve, you're not eligible to enter. I do apologize for that.
It's okay. Sorry.
You know, the big giveaway is the punch plate. I always have a hard time saying that. The punch plate bridge. But so Steve, tell us. I know you're working with Troy on his ON3. You're building some buildings, some structures for him. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. And yeah, he sends me kits. I build them, except this last one. The last one, I sent him a picture, and he asked if I could do it. And I said, yeah, I could probably try it. So, and we were talking about the other night, and it is completed now.
Nice.
Did you send it out to him?
HO? No. In fact, the last one I sent him at Freight House, it got damaged in the mail. I had him send it back to me, and I'm repairing it now. So once it's done, I'll send both of these together.
Do you have it available so we can?
Yeah. Let me show you the picture of what it's supposed to look like. You tell me how
before you
close you think I got it.
I just want to tell everybody out there that's watching, On the tech tune-up that we had prior to the show, Barry had to leave to pick up his girls from a personal activity they're doing outside, and Steve was sharing his build that he's doing for Troy. And if anybody hasn't seen Troy's Railroad, we got to get Troy back on the Hangout. That's Troy. Remind me to get in touch with you. We got to get it.
Absolutely.
Have a show specifically on your layout. But Steve is working with them and building, like he says. But he showed me these kits that he built, and you guys are going to get blown away. That's all I'm saying. Steve, go on.
This was not a kit, not this one.
Okay.
This is the magazine in January, February of this year in the Narrow Gauge Shortline Gazette.
Ooh.
And this icing facility here is a picture I sent him. And I had built an icing facility for him earlier. It was mechanical, but because of the time frame of his railroad, it really wasn't right. He didn't really like it. I sent him this one. This is an ice storage facility that is based on pond ice. And before mechanical refrigeration, they would get ice out of ponds. They would send it to these places, something like this. They would offload the ice, and they would pack it in sawdust. They kept it in these old reefers. And then when they needed to ice up a reefer, they would bring it in. The ice would go up it would come out an end door on the reefers. It would go up like a conveyor belt here.
Oh, okay.
Right here. Okay, it would come out. This is all backwards to me, but anyway, it would come out these doors. They'd throw it on this conveyor. It would come up through the mechanical house here. See?
Yeah.
And then it would come out onto the main deck where they could do it. So let me move my camera here, and this will be looking at it.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's even got NBWs and everything on that thing.
And there is the ice conveyor.
Sweet.
Let's see if I can get this. Yeah, something like that. And there's the doors.
So they just modified those cars to use as a storage facility then.
Right. Mm-hmm. Those are two Campbell kit cars. This is all HON3 too, by the way. So
that
is all scratch built.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Beautiful job.
I hope he likes it. And they would have salt bags that would control the temperature. They could make the ice actually colder using salt somehow. But there's his new icing facility for his layout.
Now, on something like this, Steve, how do you package that? I mean, how do you
I'm going to package it a lot better than the last one.
Oh.
I'll have to build forms for it out of styrene. I use half-inch styrofoam, and I'm going to build like a whole compartment and just protect this thing real good.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I've sent him, he could probably tell you, there are 5 or 6 structures already now. No damage whatsoever. The last one, and always double box. And the last one, the outside box looked like an accordion. The inside box didn't have a mark on it, but it was really messed up. So I've had to build a whole new decking for it. And anyway, I'll have it back together in no time at all. So then I will package both of them up in separate boxes, put it all in one big box, and hopefully UPS, who will do it this time, not USPS. I'm a little disappointed with them. But that was the first time I ever had a problem with them. But, something like that, I sure don't want to get messed up. I want it to arrive into him where he can put it right on the layout and just stare at it.
Exactly.
He says Troy says 6 structures, no damage sent.
Nice.
Do what?
He said six structures were sent, and there were no damage on those previous 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
He also said, can't wait to see the coal mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be a while yet. I've got, I'm building a dollhouse for my sister, and that's a big project. I hope to have it done by Christmas. And I do some woodworking for people too, so I got to do that. Luckily, I get off the school bus next Friday, and I can get outside to my barn and get working.
There you go.
So I bounce back and forth. I do all kinds of stuff. I build structures for people, and I enjoy it. I really do enjoy building the structures. Like I said, my layout is done. Hence, I built a Timesaver so I can have a little bit of fun with it. And I build structures, so keeps me busy.
And how is the Carroll Valley Railroad coming along these days? You do operations?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's all done. I mean, the only thing I can do now is add more detail or maybe swap out a building, something like that. But the track everything is it's there. We'll have to, one of these days I'll have to figure out a way to pull the computer in there, and we can do something in there for you.
How often do you have your operations?
I try to do it about once a month.
Yeah.
But,
you belong
to
the OPSIG group?
Do I what now?
Do you belong to the OPSIG group?
No. No. I do run on other people's layouts. You were talking about the one guy earlier that takes, 20 guys to run his layout?
Yeah.
John Parker, yes.
Yeah. This is weird, but I operate on one here in town in Cincinnati that we have 30 to 35 guys operating.
That must be huge.
It is big, and he runs just like the real railroad. I mean, he has 3 dispatchers, 2 CTC boards, and it's big.
Wow.
I was talking about the OPSEG. It's Operations Special Interest Group.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Yeah, they recently just came out with I'm giving you guys a free plug here. These guys came out with this new hardcover book. And I would recommend, it's a little pricey. It's about $45 with shipping and handling. But I would recommend it because it's a operations from design to implementation. And I only bring this up because Steve does it, and I was talking earlier with Mr. Baronic, the track planner, and he was talking about John Parker's layout out where he lives. But this is an extensive book that they put together, and in it they have at least 10 chapters, and it's what to model and why operate it, layout design for operations, the crew, your operating positions, fundamentals of freight operations is one chapter, passenger operations, centralized traffic control and railroad signal systems, and model railroad communications. And then the last, which I think is super important, hosting an operating session. Right? I mean,
lots of beer and pizza.
Yeah.
Snacks.
I have to tell you when I got this book, sometimes when you get something of this magnitude, and I do mean that, when you get something, sometimes the authors try to be a little bit, a bit of an elitist kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I have to read you in the opening introduction. It says here, the publication you are now browsing will explain railroad operation in some detail. The details will help you understand this wonderful world, but may exceed what you need to add this element to your layout. But that level of involvement isn't necessary for you to try out and experience running a model railroad with a mission. The depth presented with these pages may be far greater than many modelers need to experience operation. This wealth of information, however, will offer you the opportunity to get started simply, then to add elements to your railroad operation as you gain both knowledge and experience. I think that's a pretty it's a broad thing, but it's not that elitist statement. Like, you can take this book, use it as a guide, but
Mm-hmm.
read it. I tell you, when I got this book, I'm a ferocious reader, and I love to read. So I am savoring this like it's a great novel. I am like having
Nice.
a cup of coffee, and I am reading chapter, and then I'm reading it again. So if you guys get a chance, I look into it. It's from OPSIG. I'll put it up close so you can get it. I'll put it on
Very
pause.
nice.
The complete is a. How do you? I got to ask my school teacher wife. Babe, what's that word?
Compendium, right?
Compendium. See,
There you go.
Barry, you're smarter than the average bear.
I try, brother.
What's that?
I do-
Oh, look at this, Barry. You
What
got a
she-
free no homework pass from the teacher.
See, I love Georgianne.
She's the best.
Yes, she is. You got to keep her there, Bill.
I think I'll keep her. Yeah.
You better bring her to the wedding, too.
Absolutely.
All right, let's check how our giveaway people are showing up here. Okay, we've been about 30 for the last 5 minutes, so we'll give you 2 more minutes, 11:21 on my clock, and then we will close down the giveaway and pick the lucky winners.
Login Logo says, would love to get some close-up shots for the upcoming model railroad photography.
Oh, yes. We'll have to definitely
Max,
let
well,
Steve know when he comes back.
Right. So if any of you guys out there on your layout want to get some of your pictures into the eMag, send an email to JD, our editor-in-chief, and find out.
Ah, sweet. Ron Price said he's coming down my way. And they said he might be going to the Fine Scale Expo in November, so that'd be great. Because Andy's probably going. I know me and Mike will be going. And we talked about it possibly doing like a round table, like live round table feed from there, maybe Friday night. So I have to get in contact with some of the guys that run the show, see if we can get some of the manufacturers come on in and sit and talk with us, All right.
Sparky 107 says, you guys have lots of opening for the YouTube model builder site. I don't quite understand what that means, Sparky.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on that one either. All right. We just got
Hey,
another.
Bill,
Yes.
if I can share this real quick for anybody who hadn't
Sure.
seen it. Here is part of my layout.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Now we definitely have. Did you just take that picture because you're wearing the same T-shirt there as you got on now?
Closed away.
You're amazing that you got that. You ran out, got the picture, and ran back in and put it in a magazine. You're the
Them old Polaroid cameras really come in handy. Here's the track plan.
Yeah. It's the flux capacitor that did it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I remember when we had you on the last time. It was good. We definitely have to get you on there with that camera.
Oh, for sure.
I will figure it out.
All right, Bill. Well, I think it's time to pick us some winners.
Sure. Hold on 1 minute. Sparky 107, editors, treasures, etc., etc., etc. Send me an email at my email address at South Brooklyn. That's South, as it says, Brooklyn, BKLYN @gmail.com. Okay? South Brooklyn @gmail.com. I'll be more than answer any of your questions.
All righty. So let's go pick winners.
Oh, let me get my paper out because I got to write these guys down.
Yep.
because you guys out there think this is all like glamour and me partying, like us guys going afterwards to Jay-Z, after our party, after we do the show and everything, and hanging out with Beyonce and all that. That's not how it works here.
What?
Actually, no.
You
What do
mean
you mean?
you haven't been, Bill?
Well, I don't get an invite.
Oh,
guys-
I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah, I'm the one that's got to do the after show scut work here. So you guys are out partying and drinking Curaçao and Diet 7-Up. I'm over here.
That sounds like a really
I was
bad
really
combo.
looking forward to the party.
Actually, as soon as this is over, as
Okay.
soon as this is over, I have a cup of tea and then I go to bed. That's how
Yeah.
boring. I like boring. Trust me, I like boring.
All right, gentlemen. Boom. Let's pick us some winners. 3, 2, 1. Hitting the button. Okay. Winners have been picked. It's always easy with electronics. So, our number one giveaway, the HO or N-Scale Punch Plate Bridge, goes
Is
all the way to Australia to our buddy Ron Bryce. So congratulations, Ron. And then giveaway number 2, our road striping decals from Highways and Byways, goes to Martin Jenkins. So congratulations, Martin. Giveaway number 3 is the awesome decals from Dave's Decals, and that goes to John Dilly. So congratulations, John.
Hey, wait a minute. Before you go on,
Yes.
I want to give a special shout out to John Dilly. I told you guys off air that I put the video up of after my build, and I said I went through the whole that May 15th was the game, the show, and I got all the dates wrong, and I was so discombobulated. And I put that video out there, and my good friend John Dilly puts in the comments, the 15th is a Monday, Bill, and I got the dates wrong. And John, I have to say, brother, you saved my butter. And no hard feelings. I love the correction, man. I love the correction. If I would have left it up there for a half a day, I would have looked. I think I would have looked really foolish. I mean, I'm a foolish guy anyway, but I think you saved me a lot of embarrassment and a lot of ridicule. So I do appreciate John. There was no hard feelings. I didn't take it in any shape, form, or way. I think you actually did me a service by pointing it out to me, and that's very appreciative. So again, I want to thank you very much, John, for doing that. Just wanted to get that out there to John. That's okay. Number 4, the winner
Number 4 is Weathering Solutions, right? There's awesome decals from Weathering Solutions for your rust and your graffiti and everything for your cars. So giveaway number 4, where are you at? Mark Donovan. All right, Mr. Mark.
Marky Mark, how are you?
And giveaway number 5, from Strikeforce Hobbies, the Walther's Yard Office and Guard Shack, goes to Lloyd Henchy.
Lloyd,
So congratulations, Lloyd.
Yeah, Lloyd, I think won before. All right, guys, the winners of this, congratulations, first of all, to all the winners. Thank you very much for all that entered into the contest. Just a heads up on this, what I will do is I will give you guys an email, send an email to you asking for your complete legal mailing address. And so, again, congratulations to all the winners and stuff like that. Let's see. And Mark Donovan is clapping for himself.
Gotta love Mark.
John Dilly says congratulations to all the winners, and I want to. Bill Wyman.
Yep.
And this is the end of our show here, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Steve Montgomery for doing this, for taking time out of his busy schedule, and I have to tell you guys out there in the community, I tried to get John earlier. I believe we talked, and John, was it last year, John? I think it was in September. I wanted to get you. I called Steve. I don't know why you're calling him John. I called Steve up and I said, Steve, I'd like to get you on such and such a show. And Steve said, oh, let me check my calendar. And he came back and he said to me, oh, Bill, I can't. Bowling starts for me. I'm on a team. Am I correct, Steve?
Yes.
Yes, we had that conversation. You said, I'm in a bowling league and my bowling starts that weekend. So I said, okay, fine. You can't interrupt, you can't either. Steve, I have to let you know that I called 5 other guys after you, and each one told me, I'm telling you no lie, 5 guys
Oh man.
all across the United States, all across, not any, one guy out in California, another guy in Missouri, another guy in Utah. Everybody had the same, I can't. Bowling starts this weekend.
Jeez. Everybody's trying to get out of the summer heat.
I was like, the second guy, I thought it was a joke. I said, did you talk to Steve Montgomery? And he goes, who's Steve Montgomery? I said, his bowling season starts. I finally got to the 5th guy, and he said, it's bowling season. It starts all across. This is the time. I was like,
Yeah.
So, but I want to thank you, Steve, for making the time to come on the show and sharing the time saver us. It was very gracious of you to do so, and I greatly appreciate it. And I know the community greatly appreciates it.
Absolutely.
So check out Steve's Carol. You have a website, or do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube channel. It's got a bunch of videos on my layout. It's at Carroll Valley RR. I have a Facebook page, Carroll Valley RR, and there's an outdated website, which is Carroll Valley Railroad.
Okay,
But normally I do most of my posting on the Carroll Valley Facebook page. They can all, I put up just about everything I'm doing on it.
Oh, here we go.
Regular.
We have been officially renamed, Bill. YTMB equals YouTube Model Bowlers.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And I'm not going to be the first one to build a bowling alley for anybody. Forget it.
Well, anyway, thank you, Steve, for being on. I greatly appreciate it once again. And to Barry, my good friend and astute and esteemed director, thank you. For all that you don't know, I'm going to give Barry a big shout out. In June, Barry is tying the knot. He's getting married in June to his lovely fiance, whose name is Doreen. She's also a model railroader enthusiast as well. So she's a keeper, but I just want to end on a happy note.
Thank you, Bill.
Barry and his lovely fiance are getting married in June, and we wish them all the best and the blessings to them and to their family. So with that said, we want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight to YouTube Model Builders live show. Stay tuned. I believe someone is putting an after show hangout out there, so if you can, go check it out. And we thank you very much. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you guys on the radio.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Bill, thank you again. Steve, good
Thank
job.
you.
Great show. Everybody, have a good night, and thank you for the congratulations on the wedding. So, by the way, next month I will be persona non grata at YouTube Model Builders as we come down to the final stretch to get ready for the wedding. But I'll be back in July. So, all right. Good night, folks.